Hi, I'm Kelsey and I am here to do some sewing. This isn't really a tutorial and it's not a let's learn how to sew together because I'm not a great teacher. Maybe one day I can actually teach how to do this, but I am kind of intermediate to experienced sewing, and I thought it would be fun to kind of do new patterns together. Every time I do a new pattern, maybe film it or something. So I did a random number generator 1 through 140, and it landed on like 121, which was this pattern here. I'll give you more information in just a minute, but it's a store-bought paper pattern, which I don't have many of those. All of my store-bought paper patterns are in this binder here. I have binders labeled 1 through 14, and each binder has like different type of patterns in it. So most of my patterns are downloaded from online. I shop a lot on Etsy for patterns. And then my 2 most favorite pattern companies on their websites. So the first most loved pattern company, love them forever, is called Pupperita, and so it's just pupperita.com, and you can find a million little kids patterns from sizes premature to 10 years old. The other one I really like is Retro Sparkles Design. I used to rep for them, represent, and so I would test their patterns a lot, and so I have a lot of patterns from them, and I still buy from them now that I'm not repping. So this is the pattern that's gonna like reflect, so we're not gonna do that. I'll just see with my eyeballs that we're doing today. So it landed on this. And so there's a few different versions. There is A, B, and C. So the A and B are very similar, except like the ruffles are different and the trimming is different. But it's like a dressy thing with what they're calling them panties, but I would call them more like bloomers. And then there's a romper. So I decided that I wanted to do version B with the ruffles and the trimming. So we're gonna try that. My only hang up about it is that my ruffles aren't as like thick as the ones on here, but I think it should be fine still. Should be fine. And I'm gonna do it in size large. This one only comes in 4 sizes: newborn, small, medium, and large. And you would have to look at the size chart to know what size it is, but the medium, the weight is 18 to 21 pounds and the height is 26.5 to 31 inches. So that would be like my daughter would be in a medium, and she's 13 months right now. So the large I would say is probably like a size 18 months. But you'll have to look at the chart. This is from a company called Newlook, and I got it on sale at Hobby Lobby for 99 cents. So we're gonna try it. I don't particularly love doing store-made patterns. I'm very particular about the way I like my patterns. One, I really like to buy them online because most of the time they come with a projector pattern, and so I don't have to cut anything out. I just project it and then cut out my fabric, and that makes it a million times easier. But then 2, like I'm very particular about, I like the way that it's written a lot better in digital patterns. For some reason, I just feel like they're better detailed. The pictures are better because they're like real life pictures instead of drawings. Sometimes this doesn't look like what you're looking at when you're looking at fabric. So either way, we can still do it. Let's do it. So I cut out all the pieces in the size large, and then I went ahead and cut out the fabric. So we are using this adorable butterfly fabric that I got from my grandmother's stash. My grandma is a quilter, and so sometimes when I go to her house, she has an entire room full of fabric, and so sometimes I go over there and just take what I like, and she's totally okay with it. It's not like I just pocket it and like don't tell her. No, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go look at fabric, and she says okay. So anyway, sometimes I see things I like and grab them, and so I have a whole bunch of stuff from her house, and so that's one thing I'm trying to like craft through my grandma's stash. What I like to do is read through the instructions first, especially when it has like different versions. I want to make sure that I'm getting all the information for the version that I'm doing. For pattern B, which is what I'm doing, it says on the outside, pin your daisy trim, but I'm not doing daisy trim, I'm doing lace trim. So I'm doing this lace trim instead. That's what it'll look like. I think it'll be cute. So open out one edge of the single fold bias tape. Oh, I don't have bias tape, but I mean I do have bias tape, but not that would match this, so I'm gonna have to make my own bias tape. It didn't say anywhere about the bias tape, I don't think. That's annoying. So am I just supposed to guess about how much bias tape I need? Okay, so it says something here about we have cut the yoke sections, but I did not cut a yoke section, so I need to pull back out my pattern. I promise that I have sewn before. This is just not a great example of it. Okay, it does show that I was supposed to cut a yoke. Okay, so I did see these. So it right here it said view A, and so I assumed it was just for view A, but right here it says A, B, and C. So don't mind me. I need to cut 4 of the fabric. Okay, I'm going to use this like linen-y colored fabric for the yoke if I have enough of it. I don't have very much. But if I have enough, I'm going to use this because I think it would be cute kind of contrasting the butterflies so that everything is butterflies. Also, it does say something about bias tape on this. It says 1 package of 1/2 inch wide single fold bias tape. So there you go, 1/2 inch wide bias tape. So what I'll do is make my own bias tape because I don't have any on me. So just what I'm gonna have to do. Hopefully this will be enough for some bias binding, but I'm gonna doubt it actually. And then it needs interfacing, like I said. I have tons of interfacing, but I'm sure it just needs a lightweight interfacing. Of course it doesn't say, it just says interfacing. So let's just go lightweight interfacing. I have this, hopefully it's weight enough. And you only need 1 10 of the front and 2 of the back. So this should be plenty. Alright, I'm gonna keep this out just in case I might need it again. So I think basting is important, but not as often as this is calling for, so I might skip some basting stitches. I might regret it later, but man, I'm exhausted. I'm gonna sit down. Okay. So steps 1 through 27 are for the sundress. So we're going to start with that, and then we'll read the instructions for the bloomers. We've got about 5 minutes before I have to stop and take my oldest to youth group, so I'm not going to get started because 5 minutes is going to give me like no time to do anything. So what I'm going to do is change the thread on my machine, because right now it's like this navy blue, and I'm going to want something that matches this, especially if I'm top stitching. So I can do either like this dark green or this like off-white. It looks yellow in the camera, I think, but it's like, I guess it's kind of yellowy, but I won't choose a yellow. So I'm going to choose this, and it's called color 22, and I would say it's like off-white. Again, it looks more yellow on the camera than it actually is, but so we're going to switch it to this. And then it looks like I already have a bobbin that's like half full with it, so I might have to do more later, but we'll use that one for now. Okay, now with that switched over, I should be good to start sewing. Once I get back, I will turn on my iron and do the interfacing, and yeah, I'll keep my iron on while I'm sewing because you need it a lot when you're sewing. And so I'm not sure if I'll get back down here tonight or if I'm just set up nicely for tomorrow morning. Either way, we will see, and we'll get started, and hopefully this will be the absolute cutest thing ever. All right, bye. Good morning. It's Monday morning, almost 7:30, and I did not get back down here yesterday, but that's alright, because we did get prepared for today. So yeah, I'm really tired. That's alright. I've got some coffee. Also, my outfit is a little janky because I was just wearing this like dress, but then it's cold down here. So I'm just going to ride through the instructions of the sundress portion. So I'm just gonna get to work, I think. Alright, first thing I'm gonna do is turn on my iron. I have an ironing board, but I just like to use this ironing mat. It's just much quicker. Once that warms up a little bit, I'll go ahead and put the interfacing on the pieces that need interfacing, and I'll kind of iron the pieces as I go, just so everything's nice and crisp. So I'm gonna do the stay stitch thing that it told me to do. So this is what my stay stitch looks like. Just a little stitch about 1/4 of an inch from the raw edge. And hopefully that's what it meant to do. Okay, before I stitch this one, I really need to iron it a little bit. it would help if this was plugged in. I love a good ironed piece of fabric. Just looks like this giant like drapey thing, but this is the front. So this is what it looks like so far. Yeah, it's, I can't really tell yet. But now I need to hem all the way around the bottom, and then I need to hem all the way around the sides, and then I will attach the first round of lace. my own bias tape thing. So I just cut 2-inch, it's supposed to be 1/2 inch bias. So I cut 2 inches so that when I fold it down or whatever, it'll be 1/2 inch. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and they're for the armholes. So this is 1/2 inch bias tape. Done for now, so I'm just gonna turn off my iron and take a break, and hopefully I'll be able to come back down and work later on this afternoon. It is almost 9:30, so I've been down here for about 2 hours. So it does take a while to do this stuff, and I'm still only on like finish step 5, so that's where we're at. All right, we are back. It's 5:30. I actually came down here and worked a little bit during the baby's nap time, but my 4-year-old was playing on my phone, which is what I'm recording on, so I didn't record anything, but I can show you where we're at now. I didn't get too much more done, but I do have a little bit more done. So this is what it's looking like now. Here's kind of the sleeve armhole area there, and then the back is clipped right now, but there's going to be a buttonhole and a button, so we need to pick out what button we want to use. Let's get a better view of this. Okay, and the lace trim around it, and then the other armhole, and then the front. So I'm not happy with how this the collar section turned out, and I will give you like an up close, although this is embarrassing. Let me turn you around. Okay, so like from here it looks all right. You can see it kind of pulls, but then it comes around here, and this side is like the worst. It's just like pulling so much, and it just got caught under so much stuff. So what the pattern calls for, is a trim, an eyelet trim, which I don't have an eyelet trim at all. But so I have a couple of options. By a couple, I mean I think I only have one option. I can go buy an eyelet trim, like that's not a big deal. I don't actually want to, but I could, like if no other option like shows itself to me, that can be an option. I could add more lace to try to cover it. The issue is this is about, I'd say like 1.5 inches, and this is about 3/4 of an inch. So if I laid it up against the neckline, I don't know that I love it because of like, you can't see it very well, but there's like a little space. But then if I double it up, I don't know that I love that either. And then with the other lace. Like, is that too much lace? Like, it doesn't look bad like that. So technically at this point I could leave it. Like, the dress is finished, so this would just be like finishing touches, but I cannot leave it with it looking like this. I don't like it. There's no way in the world that I could ever do that. Okay, so we are going to put that out of our minds for a minute. We will keep thinking about it and looking at it and thinking about it while we move on to the bloomers portion of the pattern. Because this dress is practically done. It just needs the trim on the collar and then a buttonhole and a button. And then it's done. So I do need to figure out what kind of button I want. I guess I can look at my options for that too, because if I don't have something, I might as well get something if I'm gonna go out and get some trim. So for buttons, we've got a few options. So I think something like neutral will be best. So, and then I also think something kind of big. Normally for my handmade clothes, I use these little buttons that say handmade with love. Anyway, they're cute, but I think it might be too small. Maybe not too small. Let me move you closer so you can see. So it's probably not too small, but I think I want something a little bigger. So other like neutral things would be this wooden piece. That's gonna be a no for me. There's like this button. I don't love it. There's this kind of white one. I think that's too big. There is this like vintagey green one that kind of matches the green butterflies. I don't know if that's too big too. This one's probably too bright. I'm thinking maybe the one I said we're not gonna do, which is this one. Oh, it also has a big bow in the back. I need to make that too. I forgot about the bow. I was about to completely skip the bow. Okay, obviously I'm gonna upload this after I choose, but like, what kind would you choose? Yeah, I think we'll just go with the handmade with love when that time comes. And I'm gonna look at the instructions for the bow and get that done, but I won't be able to attach it until we do the trim. All sewn up, so I'm going to trim around the edges and then flip them. Okay, this is kind of what the bow looks like as of right now. It wants you to sew the back together, but I'm gonna use hot glue first and then I'll stitch it, but I think the hot glue will help hold it in place so I can kind of adjust it a little bit so it looks better. I don't know. So I was going to use hot glue for that bow back, but I didn't have a place to plug in the hot glue and I didn't have like the hands while I was holding that to like unplug something and plug it in. So we used fabric glue and it's sitting there. Fabric glue takes a while to dry, so I just threw some pins in it and hoping for the best. I've still got about 20 minutes that I can use to work on those bloomers. The thing with the bow is I can't attach it until after I get that trim on, and I'm still thinking about the trim. I'll probably go somewhere in the morning and see if I can't find something. But we'll see. If not, then I will use the lace. And we'll start with one layer, see how it looks, and then do the second layer if we think we need it. So, and then we need to attach the buttons, the button, and the buttonhole. And the bow will attach with snaps, so it's removable and washable, which is nice. So you can wash the dress without getting the bow all caught up in the washing machine. Yeah, so next things next, bloomers. Okay, it is 7 p.m. so I am done for this evening. I am turning off my iron. I'm gonna plug in my iPad so I have it for tomorrow, because sometimes I like to watch things. Oh no, oh man, what a mess up. I'm gonna plug in my laptop so I have it for tomorrow. Okay, everything is all plugged in, and so I'm gonna take my water and go upstairs, and I'm gonna dream about how I am not loving this dress. It's cute, like it's not cute. I just don't love the top, which can be fixed with some cute trim. No big deal. Yeah. I'm still working on this dang thing. And I'm like this close to like not working on it anymore. Like just not wanting to do it anymore. So the bow, I put some fabric glue on yesterday and it is dry now. So this is, I guess, where it's gonna be. But I have to like do the button and buttonhole first, and then I have to do the ruffle from the front, and you can see I just hate it right now. And then I'm currently working on the shorts that go underneath it. And so I'm putting that ruffle, the lace on there. But I feel like it's gonna take a lot, which is fine. We can do a lot. It's just supposed to be like thicker stuff, so you only add 3. But this one's gonna be a lot more, which is fine, whatever. Okay, so I've kind of pinned the second row on there. It's just gonna be very busy, but that's all right. Okay, so what I'm doing on those shorts is I'm just marking where I want it to kind of go straight across. And that way when I'm sewing, it doesn't just go wonky. Like, it stays pretty straight and they're evenly spaced. That's the goal, at least. All right, this is kind of what the third row will look like. We'll probably just do maybe 5 rows. So after this one, maybe 2 more. It could go like down pretty far, or we could just have it kind of at the top of the bum. We'll see. Okay, so I just did the 5, and I think that's a good number. I actually kind of like it now. I didn't think I would, but I actually do kind of like it. I think it's gonna be cute when it's all put together, honestly. So I probably could do 1 more row, but I'm not going to. So this is what the inside looks like right now. The outside. So let's go on to the next step, finally. Okay, so now they're kind of looking like shorts. So I'm gonna trim up the seams and then finish them on the serger so that they look more professional, like this seam. So I'm gonna trim up the edges here, make it look nice. And then I think it moves on to the casing and the elastic, and then it should be done. Shorts are always pretty easy. These look so big though. I'm very confused about what size this is. It looks more like a 2 or 3T than anything else. I'm gonna have to look at the measurements and like compare them. I'm gonna have to look at the measurements and compare them to like other pattern makers to be able to like advertise the correct size, because I'm not sure what size this is. It's a size large in this pattern, but what does that mean? There's only 4 sizes: newborn, small, medium, large. So what does that mean? All right, that's the back. and the front. So the next step is adding the casing for the elastic, and I don't like the instructions. I don't like how they're having me do it, so I'm going to do it my own way and hope for the best here. Yeah, I hate this pattern. So I'm just gonna do the bottom, the hem part of the shorts, and then they'll be done. Okay, so I have the casings formed for the elastic to go into the legs, and then once I put the elastic in and close up the casings, it'll be done. Obviously these are much easier than the dress has been. Personally, I changed a lot of the pattern to make it easier without changing the look of it, so I just think there are easier ways to do this than the pattern is calling for. We're gonna run to Hobby Lobby and see if we can find some trim for that, and then he has counseling therapy today, speech therapy and occupational therapy, so we're gonna go to that. But these are pretty cute even without the elastic in them. So I still don't understand what size they are though. Like, they seem rather big for being a baby pattern, but I'll try to figure out like what they would compare to and then like label it as that size, but I don't know. Anyway, we'll be back to finish. Hopefully I'll get that trimmed so I can get the sundress finished. I'll get these bloomers finished, and then I can be just done with this pattern because I am mentally done. Good morning. It's now Wednesday, 7:35 a.m. So I definitely meant to work more yesterday, but I didn't. So I just worked yesterday morning. Whatever I filmed, I filmed. Anyway, I did go to Hobby Lobby and I found a trim that might work. So I got this. It's not perfect. Like, if I were to create it my own, this wouldn't be it, but it's cute enough. So I got enough to use and hopefully some left over so I can use it again in the future. But let's see what it looks like. I haven't even tried it up against the dress yet. I wish that I didn't do this lace. and this, because like it doesn't really go together that well, but that's all right. Okay, yes, I like it a lot because it covers up the not so good looking yoke. So that's perfect. And then the back will have the bow, which blends a lot into the dress. I should have done like a neutral colored bow that didn't have the butterflies on it, but that's okay. We live and learn. I don't think I'm ever gonna make this pattern again. But if I do, I will do a different colored bow. I do like the look of this, and it doesn't look too bad, honestly, with the lace at the bottom. So I'm happy with that. Let's go from there. Let's add the trim around the collar. Add a buttonhole and button, and then put the snaps on here so the bow can snap to the dress. Then we should be done, finally, and then we can pick something else to make. Just sitting here like kind of cleaning up before I add the bow to the back, and I just realized I didn't add the elastic to these shorts, which won't take me very long, but the elastic was just sitting over there, and I'm like, this is supposed to go somewhere in these shorts so that they're like bloomers and not just shorts. So I'm gonna add the elastic real quick. Silly me. Okay, we're done. Hello, let's review this pattern and talk about it, and then see if we would make it in the future. So let's start with what this pattern is called. This is from the company Newlook, which is actually a Simplicity patterns company, so it's like a branch of it. And the pattern number is 6440, and I got it on sale at Hobby Lobby for 99 cents. And these are the options that they come with. This is really cute. This is the one I made with the fringe and ruffles and whatnot. And from this is what it looks like. It is pretty cute. I got this fabric from my grandmother's fabric stash, so I have no idea who it is or what it's called or where it's from. But here is a look at it. This is the back. Let's get you a good look here. So it has a bow, and the bow is snapped on, so you can unsnap it. And then there's a button underneath, and then an open back. The back is fully open. So under the dress, are these bloomers. So this is the back of the bloomers with the lace ruffles, the elastic waistband, and the elastic bottoms. So it's actually pretty cute. I'm not mad at how it looks. I'm really thrilled with how it looks. I would love to know what size it is. It says it's a size large. And the measurements, so it doesn't give like chest, waist, all that measurements. It just gives weight and height, which isn't great for measurement giving, because somebody can be a height and weight of something, but their chest is like bigger, or their waist is bigger or smaller or whatever. So however, this is a very drapey pattern, so maybe that's not, but so it says for the weight of the size large, which is what I made, it says 21 to 24 pounds, and the height is 31 to 34 inches. So whatever that means to you. On the cuteness scale, out of 5 stars, we'll give it like a 4. It's pretty darn cute, I think. Yeah, I would have put a solid colored bow, or at least a contrasting bow on the back, because it is very busy and you can hardly see that there's a bow unless you're like right here. The pattern itself, so like instructions, pictures, everything. I don't know, I don't want to be harsh. Well, I should just be as honest as I like, because not everybody's going to have the same opinion as me. So I'm going to say a 2 out of 5 for the instructions. Like, it's not a 1. I got it done. Some things I had to change to make more sense to me. Some things just didn't make sense at all. Some things like could have been different. I don't know. I just, the garment itself, if I saw this advertised, I would think this is a beginner pattern. There is nothing very hard on this pattern at all. But the way it was written, there's no way a beginner could do this. No way. I would say it would be intermediate to experienced sewers could do this, or a beginner who wants to stop every 10 seconds and Google and watch YouTube videos and get very frustrated. I think a very frustrated beginner could attempt this and maybe have good results. I don't think it was written for beginners. So the pattern itself, a 2 out of 5 for me, but the cuteness scale is a 4 out of 5 because I do think it ended up really cute. I love that it came with these bloomers to go underneath. I really want to find a model to like wear this around so I can take photos and see what it looks like. Will I be making it again? Probably not on purpose. So what I'll do is like take photos and stuff and list it on my Etsy if I can get some good photos or whatnot. And sometimes people will see things on my Etsy and ask for like a custom one, and if so, I would make it again, however not following these instructions. I would use the pattern pieces to cut, and then I would absolutely just do how I think it should be done, which is what I should have done from the beginning, but we were trying to do a good review. So anyway, this pattern, this result, so we'll see you in the next video. Let me know what you want to see. Let me know if you like this, what on the cuteness scale, what would you give this? And yeah.